Hi, this is Tracey from GiftBasketAppeal, and today I'm making a card using the stamp set Happy Fall, and this is a design team project for Maymay Made It. So let's get started. So I just absolutely love the fall season just because of the colors and everything, but we're doing a challenge this month for August, and the challenge is to use 3 colors together that we normally wouldn't use, and the colors are brown, pink, and orange. So I'm going to be using the Happy Fall stamp set. I'm going to be doing something with this wagon. I'm going to kind of revamp it. I'm going to be using this cute little flower. I think that's really adorable. Let's see. Of course, I'm going to use this sign right here. Happy Fall, y'all. Look how cute that is. But there's so many different options you have. You have different leaves. You have the one you can color in, then you have the solids. So you can just kind of stamp in whatever color ink you want. You got different variations of flowers. Here's a sunflower right here. Of course, that's the one I'm going to be using. Pumpkins from different angles. I love this. Even though it's the top view of a pumpkin, to me that looks like a flower. So I absolutely love that. And look at that adorable acorn. Okay, so let's get ready to stamp out some of the images. I will put the measurements for everything below in the description box, along with the information for Maymay's store. And so I'm going to take the Happy Fall, y'all. And I would absolutely love this. It's a solid stamp, so you have the option of stamping it out in any color you want. So I'm just going to kind of load this onto my smaller block this way, diagonally. I don't normally stamp like that, but it'll still work. And I'm going to use the Distress ink, the Vintage Photo, and that way I'll pull in the brown. So I'm going to fussy cut this sign out, the Happy Fall, y'all. So I want this to have like a kind of a rustic vintage look on that sign. I don't want it to be like real solid. I kind of want it to have a rough look to it. So let's see how I can get this inked up real good. So this is of course a distress ink. And so this is what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to press this on here. And this is not like the VersaFine ink. It is a distress ink, so I'm not expecting it to get a solid color on this. And you'll see in a moment how this turns out. See, so you see how that looks? This is how I wanted it to be. So I like that feel. To me, it has that fall feeling. And so if you want it to be more solid, you can use something like the VersaFine ink or even the Memento inks. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of take my brown marker. It's kind of a lighter brown. I'm using my Tumbos for this. And I'm just going to go around the edge, just to give it a little bit more. And it doesn't matter that I'm going out of the line because I'm going to be fussy cutting this out. Just around the edge a little bit. Now if you want, you could put it against a white base and leave a little edge on it, but I'm going to be mounting this on my card. So I want that border around it. So you see how those simple little things can just add to your creation? That's the nice thing of working with stamps. Just because they look a certain way doesn't mean you have to have them that way. Okay, so I'm going to also, I'll fussy cut this off camera, but I'm also going to need this adorable wagon right here, and wait till you see what I do with this. You're going to be shocked and amazed. Okay, so I'm going to load this onto a larger block here. Just kind of center it right there. Let's see. Actually, this will fit on a smaller block, so let me go ahead and work with my smaller block on this one. Now this one I am going to stamp it into my VersaFine ink, the black ink, because I do want this to be a little bit more vibrant and crisp. It's nice when you can kind of switch between inks on these. So I want this to be very defined, because then I'm going to just cut it up. Yep, I'm cutting up the wagon, y'all. So I'm going to need to stamp out 3 of these. Just bear with me, just getting creative here. I always like to find different things that I could use with the stamps. Kind of multi-purpose it. You see how nice and defined that comes out, that stamp image? This is such an adorable set. Yep. And you see how that didn't stamp out as vibrant. I probably didn't ink it up on that edge there, but that's okay. Okay, let's do a third one right in here. And I could always go in and touch that up with some ink. No worries on that. Okay, so that's what we've got. And I'm going to need some of those itty bitty flowers. Absolutely adorable, this little flower right here. And these I'm going to be fussy cutting as well. And I'm using my VersaFine ink again. And I'm going to need, I guess, 8 of these. If I need more, I could always stamp out more. A lot of stamping going on here. So much fun. And I get to use my Tombow markers to color these in too, so. Need 8 of those. Okay, so you see I'm using every bit of my paper that I can. This is why I like to hold on to my scraps. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Okay, so for my little sunflowers, I'm just going to take my brown and just color that inside part. And the nice thing about this is that it already has this little shading in here. So I'm really loving that. So I'm going in with the brown. So I'll color 2 of these in, and then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut them all out and color them in off camera. Okay, so one of them I'm going to do 4 in orange and 4 in pink. So all I'm doing is just coloring them in kind of regular, nothing fancy. The nice thing about these Tombows is that I can, for more color, I can just kind of go over it, and you'll get a deeper color, which is nice. Okay, so that's going to look really pretty. And then I'm going to go in on these with the pink. I know some of you said you like to see when I color stuff in. It is very relaxing, that's for sure. But I figure you didn't want to see me coloring all 8. So nothing super fancy. I'm going to give this just a little bit more color, going with a darker pink. Right around the edge there. Maybe just outline a little bit. As you can see, nothing fancy about my coloring. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut these out along with the sign, and then we'll be ready to kind of revamp our wagon and turn it into something else. And for the fussy cutting, here's my scissors. Many of you have asked me about them, the Cutter Bee scissors. I'll put a link also to these. These are great scissors to have for fussy cutting, and you can use them for whether you're right-handed or left-handed. So that's what I like also. And then you got this soft inside also, so it's not hard on the hands, because I need to be comfortable when I'm fussy cutting. Okay, so these are all cut out and they look absolutely adorable. So I'm going to be mounting these on my card to give it more dimension. So that really looks cute together, that brown, pink, and orange. Okay, so we're going to take now our wagon, and I'm not going to use the handle. When I looked at this, I see a wagon, I see this wood grain here. But then when I turn it this way, I see a fence. Do you see it? So I'm going to take these, and I kind of see a fence, but I'm going to use it as a container for my flowers. So I'm just going to cut this and put these three together. But it would make an adorable fence. So it's going to be a wooden flower container. And I'm going to use the wheels too. Wait till you see what I do with the wheels. Okay, so look, I'm going to take this, cut this out like that. All right, so now I've got that fence. That's going to be mounted on my card as well. I'm going to take the wheels now. And I'm just going to show you with this one, and then I'll move ahead and cut the others out. Just going to take the wheels, and I want that black outline. I'm going to use this for my card decoration. I know, right? This is just this is just different, okay? I love thinking outside the box. It's just a great feeling. And sometimes you just don't know how it's going to turn out. But you give it a try, and a lot of times it works. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting all of those out. So I'm going to need 5 of those, 5 of the half wheels or the cut-off wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of this out, and then we'll start putting our card together. Okay, so I decided to add just a little bit more color to this, my container. Put a little brown in there, right? There are a lot of nice little details on here, so much you could do with this. But just a little bit to bring in a little bit more brown. Okay, and let's see. And take this, and there's these little tiny dots. I'm just going to color those in. See, I'm just being creative here and having fun. And while I'm on a roll, I may as well do something with these. Let's see. I can color these in. Wait till you see what I do with these. Okay, coloring the little spokes there. So I'm only going to need 5 of these. This is so much fun. And you see, I'm not really being like perfect in my coloring of these. Kind of doing my own thing here. Okay, and let's add some orange in there. Got to get that orange in there where you can. I'm going to put a little bit of orange along this area here. So I still want to I wanted to have white in it also. And of course I am hearing the birds outside. How relaxing. Okay, just bringing in a little bit of orange where I can. Okay, look how cute that looks. Okay, now it's time to start putting our card together. Okay, so I'm going to start lining these up. Let's see how I want this to go here. So I want it to be just like that, but I need it to be mounted. So I just want to make sure it's centered on there. And that this fits in there too. Yep, okay. So I'm going to use some mounting squares on that. Kind of pop these on. And I'm going to, I always start in the center when I have like 3, an uneven number. Just start in the center first and work your way out. Just, to me, it just makes things easier for me. And I've got my art glitter glue nearby. Okay, so let's see. I'm just putting a little bit on here. Oh, take that off. Just a little bit of glue on here. Okay, let's see. A little blockage there. Okay, here we go. Now we're on a roll. So I'm just kind of lining this up so I can see it real good. Start right in the middle, building my little flower container. Sometimes you just got to get started, and then everything else will fall into place. Okay. Turn this way so everything could be in the same direction. So you see how this is coming together now? Look how adorable that is. So now I'm going to take my flowers are going to be coming over the top here. I want to make sure I can get this in there too. Let's see. Okay, I've got some really tiny mounting squares for this. So I've got 8 flowers. I think I'm going to add another one maybe off to the side on this. Just not sure yet. We'll see how this goes. Okay, let's see. Just not do anything with these yet. I'm not going to mount those. Let's see what color that is. I need an orange one. Another orange, let's see. Okay, so we're going to kind of mount this onto here. That way we have a little bit of a flower box effect going on there. Let's see, what if I put this one here, right on the container there, kind of hanging over. And then piece some others in here. I do want one like right at the edge there. Let's see, I think we need an orange in there. Yeah, let's throw an orange up in there. So I'm just kind of piecing everything together here. Let's get another orange one. Yep. Where's my little pokey tool when I need it? But that's okay. I like working with my hands. Okay, I'll put this one off to the side there. And so that little added dimension really helps. Okay, and this one is the pink. See the orange, I'm going to just kind of have that one laying flat on the paper. Just put it right there. That one has dimension without even trying. And then right in there, I'm just going to tuck it in there. Oh, look how cute that looks. Absolutely adorable. I'm going to leave this one for right in that corner, almost like it fell down. Yeah, let's put that on there. I guess I can mount it on there. Yeah, let's give that one some dimension too, so it doesn't feel left out. Just have that kind of just right there, laying down. Look at that. That's the beauty of like the fussy cutting and just putting everything together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this, and I'm going to add it up here on the top. Look how adorable that looks. Oh my goodness, I am loving the way this looks. Look at that. So just taking bits and pieces of paper and just putting them together. This is why I love paper crafting. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of a border, which is going to make it look real pretty. So I'm doing the pink, and then I've got this brown base that I'm going to use that I would normally not use this cardstock just because it's so dark, but this works perfect for what I have. Okay, let's center that on there. Okay. And we're going to mount this on here, and look how pretty that looks. Now everything just ties together. Oops. Don't want to go off those edges. But make sure I don't have this backwards. Done that before. Okay, and all right. I think we are good right now. Look how cute. This is really coming together nicely. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, what on earth is she going to do with these cut up wheels? I'm going to use them as a border. And so to do that, I'm going to mount some of them. And then some will be just glued right on. But I figured mounting these would be cute too. So much detail in one little card. Okay, so I'm going to make a little border for this right across the top there. And I'm adding glue just because I want that added reinforcement. Let me just make sure I've got this. I'm going to go in the middle first. Just a little bit. Look at that. Are y'all seeing the vision here? I'm just so glad when something that I have, an idea I have in my head actually comes out. Okay. I'm just going to end it right there. And I still have more things to do with this card, believe it or not. Just makes a really nice design. I like cutting up images and all kinds of stuff and just using them in a different way. Oh. And just right there on the side. And I think I heard someone say stitching. Well, I'm going to do something like, I think this does need some stitching now, maybe right along here. And then on the edges, let's see if we could do something with this outside part here. I'm going to like just do these little things right here, starting in the middle and then starting on the ends. I don't know what to call that, disconnected V. I always start in the center first, and that way things come out much more evenly. See, now I'm in the center of this, then I'm in the center of that. That's just my way of spacing things out, okay? I hope y'all are getting some ideas from this. And I'll be sure to put everything I used below. Okay, I'm really loving the way this looks. So if you kind of want to jazz up your border, you can use this little technique. Okay, let me get my white gel pen. Gotta love the white gel pen. And I'm just going to go in between this with little dots. Yeah, see, this card does have a lot of details. This is how your own personality comes out when you're making your cards. Eventually you'll find whatever your thing is. Of course, for me, everyone knows my thing is stitching. I don't know what it is, I just love it. Okay. And that's what we've got so far, but there's more. Let me put the cover on here. My little pin in there, keep it good. Okay, so I've got some stickles, some Stardust stickles, and I'm just gonna, I don't like to just do it right on the paper. I just like to kind of squeeze it out first and then kind of go in. And I'm going to give these a little bit of sparkle in the center. Sometimes I could be heavy-handed and I don't want to be. This just adds another element to my card. Look how cute that is. Can't leave this one out either. I love the Stardust. Because it doesn't really cover up, it just kind of enhances and makes it sparkle. And why not go along here too? That fine tip is great too, because it just kind of helps you kind of draw on here. Okay, look how cute that looks. Oh my goodness, I'm loving that. Okay, this will be the last. I hope this will be the last part, because sometimes I'll go back and just like, oh, that card needs something else. Okay, and that is so pretty. And now I'm going to add some Nouveau glitter drops on here along the sides. This one is Sherbet Shimmer. And also when you're using this, just kind of, I like to squeeze out again onto the paper first, just so I can kind of get the flow going and know what I'm doing. Let's see, I think I'll start up here. So this allows me to kind of not squeeze too much out, or if it's clogged, I can kind of get it going first before I decide. Let's start here. I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not really measuring. Oh, and I touched that, but that's okay. It still works. Let's put some here, here. Okay, and this card is finished. Look how adorable that is. I hope you got a lot of ideas. This was more about giving you enough ideas in one card that you can put this into other cards, several cards, if you don't want to have this much detail. But I am absolutely loving the way this turned out. I always like looking at my stamps differently when I get them. You know, like this, definitely, that's a flower right here to me. But I just love using stamps in a different way. So let me show you the other one I did, because I had to do a matching set here. And so pretty much the same, a little bit more detailed on the stitching around the edges there. Let's see if you can see, that's dry now, so look how you can really see how that sparkles. And these dry really, really good, like little pearls. So I usually give this a few minutes to dry, so you just want to make sure when you use those glitter drops, you give it time to dry. So I hope this was inspiring for you. I hope this was relaxing. I hope this gave you an idea for your fall cards, and to not be afraid to play with colors. I also noticed that I did go in more detail on those wheels. But yeah, just be creative, and I'll make sure I put everything below, including all of the details to Maymay's Stamp of the Month Club also, if you want to be a part of that. And I will see you real soon. Bye.